Hello YouTubers, Zeltrax Millennium here, back with a review, vlog, or an unboxing. Please be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you all enjoy the video. Hello YouTubers, this is Zeltrax Millennium here with a brand new video. Now, after my showing off my customs area video, Redis Power suggested to me, why not make a step-by-step video on how I paint? So, I'm one to please my fans, so why not? Okay, so we're going to need a couple of paints in order to get us through this. So, we got Crayon Red, Crayon White, though this is gloss white, Forever Blue, Ocean Blue, Sun Yellow, Leaf Green, for a little bit on Trax's missiles for some odd reason, and Black, along with Games Workshop Chainmail, actually, sorry, and some thinner. So, to start off, I guess we'll start off on Jazz here. Now, as you guys already saw during the review of this guy, I did some paint apps to the stoplights in the back and the exhaust tips in the back of the vehicle mode. But now we're going to take the tip paint apps a little bit further. And by further, I mean paint blue on it. Anywho, first off, you're also going to need some brushes. These aren't ideal for painting. If you ever decide to get into custom painting, these are going to be it. You're going to need very fine tip bristles or brushes, so that way you can really get in there with your paint. So that way you can paint up the extra details. So now let's get started. For this little thing, I'm going to use this brush, as opposed to these two. And first do a blue windshield in the back with the Forever Blue, which to me seems like a match for the dark blue on Jazz's hood. Seems like that to me anyway. Anywho, let's get started. Oh, one more thing. You're also going to need a rag for wiping off the paint off your brush. Okay. Shake up the blue. Pop it open. And use the cap. And believe me when I say, this is all the amount of paint you're going to need. Just what's inside the cap of the paint. Whatever. Let's get started. Alright. We got Jazz here. Now we dip a little bit into the blue paint. So we get in here. And this is my first time actually painting on camera. So please bear with me if I'm a little slow. So we do all this. Get a little bit more to make sure that we get an even coat. Because I'm not going to use clear coat on these guys. So that way these things will dry a little better. And besides, you're never going to see these things fully dry at the end of the video. Though this might actually be a multi-part video. I don't know. It actually depends, considering that YouTube's lifted the time limit. Such like that. Alright, we got one side done. And the creases that work when you transform the thing, those will automatically break apart when you transform it back into robot mode. Okay, so let's do the same thing to the other side. Let's see if I can get an that way. Oh, sweet, we can see this better. And now I got more paint to do. Holy crap. Or, holy crud. Okay, do that. Grab a tiny bit more. And that's basically it. Now for the other side, do practically the same thing. Also, before this, I printed off a couple of color sheets of the characters that I'm doing today off of the internet. One of them is a cover of a Transformers comic called The Transformers Drift, where Drift looks like he's walking away from Die Atlas or something. Sorry about that. My dad was playing a trick on me. He sometimes does that to get a rise out of me. Anywho, finishing up on the hood. Finishing up on the, I guess, the back windshield for Jazz here. And grab a tiny bit more paint. Oh, you can't see that. Sorry. My apologies. And we're done. Amazingly, we're done. Well, with the blue windshield in the back, anyway. Now I'm just looking at my color guide again. Alrighty, now we got... Oh, I guess we can use the forever blue again. To do this top stripe on the top of the car, we just grab a little bit more paint. Just looking at how lengthy it should be, like about right here. And how long it should go down to, which is the license plate. So we grab a little bit more paint, and there. Now we're going to paint this whole thing, we're going to paint this whole strip thing blue. So that way we can apply the other colors later on. And I apologize in advance if this video is longer and more choppy than usual. But that's what happens when you try and do a painting video on camera. Okay. Okay, if you hear some voices in the background, it's just my parents laughing at something. They're a little goofy that way. I'm also doing this video as a sort of precaution as to if you decide to ask me for a custom painted figure, just refer to this video if you're curious. Okay, the dark blue stripped down Jazz's vehicle mode is complete. Now we let that dry. Alright. Kept the blue, so that way it won't dry up. Take the thinner, shake it up a bit, and cap it, and just swish it around. Just swish the paintbrush around in here. Do this to wipe off any excess. And using the rag, just wipe it off. Alrighty. Looks like we're getting good. Okay, guys. I will be right back with the next little bit of this video, which is probably going to be tracks over here. So, bear with me. So now that we're done waiting, let's start with tracks. And, sorry if he's splayed over like that. Let me just look at my color guide for a second. Alrighty then. First off, we'll need the chainmail. And this is from Games Workshop, so it'll be easy to open, like that. Let's just put that right here. Grab your brush. Go right here, and for the headlights in the front, just grab a tiny bit of silver. And I will try my best to keep this in frame, but it's also really awkward to hold it like this. So we will see if it works. Hold on, I kind of messed up on the strokes. Good enough. And I deeply apologize if I don't talk a whole lot during the parts of these videos. It's just most of the time there's nothing to talk about. Oh, I was on DeviantArt a little while ago, and I just saw a post by Alexis Prime showing the first of the BotCon 2011 exclusives, which is all about, are you ready for this, guys? Animated Stunticons. Yes, I'm not kidding you. The BotCon set will be made up of Transformers animated Stunticons. However, these aren't going to be new molds, sadly, but they're more than likely going to be repaints of existing figures. Like the first one revealed already is Wild Rider, I think. Yeah, I think it's either Wild Rider or Dead End. And he's made from a animated Jazz. So I'm kind of skeptical about the whole thing at first. So until I see more pictures of the exclusive set, I will think about it, because I already have a animated Jazz. So it'll all actually depend if I decide to get the BotCon set or not. But if most of the if most of the figures coming out in the exclusive BotCon set this year are figures that I do not have, I will more than likely get them if it's just a chance to get the molds. Otherwise, you're probably not going to see me get the BotCon set and review it. Sorry, guys. Alright. The exhaust tips are done. Okay, now let me look at my paint guide again. Alright, let's go to his knees. Okay, let's go to his knees here. Hope I got this in frame, or maybe the light's shining off it. Paint this shoulder pad, paint this knee piece, sorry, here. Alrighty, first knee pad done. And surprisingly, as I found out, Games Workshop paints tend to dry real easily. At least with my experience with the paints. So these relatively dry fast for me. Though for you, if you decide to use these paints, they may either be the same case with me, or a different case altogether. I apologize in advance if I sold you any bad information. But Games Workshop paint, very good. Fairly good. Alrighty. Let's let that dry. Let's actually get back up here and let me see if I can find the spot. Oh, it's above his wings. Gosh darn it. Okay, we're gonna get into Trax's wings here. And these are for the rearview mirrors on his doors. I am going to try and do this. If I just put any paint on myself, I'll just wipe it off. Okay, sorry if you can't really see it, guys. I truly apologize. There we go. I think that's good enough for right now. I'll touch it up later. Got a little paint in here. Sorry, I'm trying to show this off. Looks good, don't you think? I think it does. Alrighty. While that's drying, let's take out the ocean blue. Oh, it's a little milky. Just always good for me. Pause for edit. This thing's having a little bit of trouble. Sorry about that, guys. I was able to get the thing open. So now I just took up some toothpicks during that little break. And you will actually need toothpicks for what I'm going to do right now. Okay, so let's just bust out a toothpick. And you can actually sharpen this thing, but I'm just going to use a normal toothpick. Okay, let's get in here. Let's get a little bit of paint here, if possible. Let's just do this a little bit here. Now do it again. Okay. We got that little bit started. Let that dry for a bit. So now let's bring Jazz back in because I'm sure his blue windshield thing got finished drying. It's finished drying. Sweet. Alright, so let's get a paintbrush again. Dip a little bit of blue in here. And let's paint those little light blue stripes down his vehicle mode. There we go. Let's do this now. And I know that the blue stripe may be a little bit uneven, but please forgive that my hand is also a little shaky. It's always been shaky when I've been doing custom repaints. And yet, I've been doing pretty well so far. So yeah, you can decide to sue me if you want. Though I doubt any of you have enough money to do so. Let's do that other blue stripe. Okay, what should I talk about while doing this? Since this part's running for about 12 minutes. Is there anything for me to talk about? I have no real clues. And, yeah. That is the little blue stripe down Jazz's vehicle mode. And so, last few bits before I stop, or stop this part anyway, so take drift, grab the little bit of blue paint, paint his orbs, I guess, here, the same sky blue. That way so that way when you put his chest back up in robot mode, the stuff underneath his windshield will look a little bit more cool, I should say. Sorry about that, guys. The last part ended off kind of early. I mean, it ran up a lot of memory on the camera, so I had to end it abruptly. Sorry about that. So let's get into the yellow paint with Sunny Yellow. Sorry about that. Let's get this open. Huh, lovely. It was easier to open this time. Get that there. Put that down. Let's get the toothpick again. Take tracks. And going by my obscured color chart, we put 2 dots of yellow right there. And 2 more dots right there. Hold on, let me touch that up just a little bit more. That's okay. Alright. Now that we're done with that, we take the brush that we have and take a little bit of yellow and go in. Okay, let's see if we can actually try to do this. Because where I'm looking right now, it's kind of got limited visibility. So, quite literally, I'm painting blind. Huh. I was wondering, have you ever guys heard of a blind painter? Have you guys ever heard of a blind painter? Hold on. That looks good. Let's do the other foot, and let me see if I can hold this at a better angle so that way we can both see this. Okay, good enough. Sorry for keeping that off camera. But it is really hard when you're painting blind. It is really, 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 really gosh darn difficult painting blind. If you ask me, it's a real pain in the butt. Good enough. I'll touch it up later. Make them stand. There we go. Now I take drift again and zoom out. Let me zoom out a bit. Take the bit of yellow, going by my drift color sheet. Paint this section yellow. And what I'm doing with drift here is trying to combine a little bit of paint elements from both his Cybertronian and Earth modes, so that way it can be a little bit of a mixture of both. So that looks good, even though you can't really see it on the camera. Alright, let's do the... I thought about not doing the yellow on his side cheeks, but let's go ahead and do that anyway, since I'm already close to it. Let's do that. Oh, if you want to see a review of this guy, let me know. It'll give me something to do during the weekend. And guys, I'm really sorry if this is turning out to be a very long video. Hi. Hey guys, sorry about that sudden pause. My mom had to get out here and get some paper she needed to make a grocery list. So let's cap the yellow because I believe we won't be needing it any longer anyway. At least at this point in the video. Oh, and if this is a very long video, I deeply apologize. In the video description of this video, I'm probably going to put up chapter lists, so that way you guys can follow each specific piece as it's... Well, you can follow each specific piece. Okay, let's take Drift here, and we're going to do the red lines on the side of his head. So let's take a little red and twist Drift's head to the side to make this a tiny bit easier. We're using a toothpick again. Okay, that's one side done. Let's see if I don't mess up the paint job on one side. And do the other side. Alrighty, let's rock and roll. Sorry, I'm just looking at the other side for a second. Grab a tiny little bit more paint. And we're done. We're done with the sides of Drip's head. Now just let him dry for now. Let's go back to tracks. Put a little red block, right here. I guess I should talk about the prices for my commissions and such. For minor paint apps on deluxe class figures, these guys are only going to be about $5. Paint apps on deluxes are going to be $5. Paint apps on Voyagers are going to be $10. And paint apps on leader class will probably be about $20. So with me, you're pretty much getting half the price for the figure. Which is actually not that bad in my personal opinion. It seems to work with a lot of people that I've worked with so far. And, okay, I'm just doing the red bit on Jazz right now. Oh, it's running out to 10 minutes again. Dang it. Looks like this is going to be one of my longest videos ever. I will try to speed this up as best I can. Good enough. Okay, guys, looks like Drift is going to hang out right here. So, guys, I will be right back with the next part of this video, which is probably going to be the final paint apps of these guys that I'm going to do. So, bear with me. I'll be right back. I will go faster in the next part. Later. Alright guys, I'm back. Now, I don't want this to go as long as the other one, so let's just get right to it. Okay, the paint apps on Jazz here are done, so he's just gonna chill out right here. The main rest of the work is gonna be on Drift and Tracks. So let's actually get Tracks out of the way first, because, well, you know how he is. He wants to go first, so he'll go first. Ugh, this guy's been complaining ever since his review. God. Okay, let's do the rest of the red bits on the wings, because you've noticed it's just a red stripe. Well, I'm gonna finish that up. Let me just get my red out. Take a tiny bit of red, because you're only gonna need a tiny bit of red for this. A little bit anyway. Just do that. And it's actually a real nice paint match for the red on his wing. So, yeah. I think I called red on this one. Alright, now let's do the other side. Sorry if you can't see it. I deeply apologize. Probably while I'm doing this, the video's getting edited on my computer. So, is that all for Tracks? No, it is not. Hold on one second. I'm going to switch paints and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. There's a little tiny thing on Tracks' wings that I have to do. Okay, let's see if I can get this centered. Well, what I'm using from it kind of looks like a yellow square with another blue square right inside it. However, I'm going to probably do the blue square off screen, because, like I said before, I do not want this part to take up a whole lot of time. So the yellow square is about adequate. Let me turn this around. Okay, this should be a little bit more straightforward, I think. Alright, yellow squares are done. Now I'm going to go off camera and prepare for the rest for Drift. Through the wonders of this camera, I was able to pause it and do all the extra paint apps I needed to do off camera. So the green stripes around his missiles are done, the squares are done. This one is a little taller than that one, though if you send this guy to me for your... If you send me your copy of this toy to be painted, it's gonna probably look more like the one on Tracks' left. Okay, now that we're done with him, let's finally finish this off with Drift. Okay, let's break out the white this time. Excuse me, I need to use my Robo Grips to open this. Hold on. I feel like I'm gonna crack the cap. God. Pause for edit again. back again, and I was able to get the cap undone. So now let's go into Drip's chest here. Get a little, or in this case a lot, of the gloss white. I will try to show this off as best I can. That... looks about okay. I hope you guys are having fun watching this video, because I'm sure not. I'm sure not. This thing, filming this whole thing and importing the files to the computer and editing them will probably take over a couple of hours. Well, that's what happens when you decide to do something like this. Unless it's really, really, really demanded, I am probably not going to do one of these ever again. Although this is probably my longest video to date. Okay, almost done. Or at least with one side of the chest. Okay, I am almost done with the chest here. Alright. Now for the other side. Oh boy. Pause for it, because I don't want to do the other side again. Alright, done with the other side of the chest. Now let's do the white border on around the Autobot symbols. Okay. Like I said before, this is at a very, 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 very awkward angle. I apologize if this goes off camera. And I am going as quick as I can, but making sure that the paint, or at least how I paint, is a little bit still okay. Hold on 1 second. Got a little bit of string on the paint thing. I don't know if this was actually intentional or unintentional, but what I'm thinking with Hasbro nowadays is that they have all this great detailing on these Transformers, and they say they do not have enough time to paint them all. I think that's actually encouraging the custom painters to actually go out and do it themselves. Gives them a little bit to do. That is my personal theory about the whole idea. Okay, one white border done. Now for the second one. Okay, back. Now let's get in real close this time, because this is probably the last few paint apps I'm going to be able to do, and I'm completely done. So now, let us use the next paint that I have in my arsenal, which is another paint from Games Workshop, but it's a kind of gray. Well, the actual name for it is Citadel Foundation Adeptus Battle Gray. It's a really cool gray color, and I love it. So, let's take the figure, dab a little bit of the battle gray, and actually, let me move this out a bit. Take the figure, and do this, and do this. Whoops, sorry. Sorry for taking that off camera. Just do the edge here. Now the back. Because you know I leave no stone unturned. You can also use black for this part, but I feel like using the Adeptus Battle Gray because it kind of looks like the plastic for Drip's whole body. And I kind of like it. So let's move this around a bit and do the other side. And you thought I was going to jump cut for this, huh? Well, you guess what? Wrong! Okay, this should be pretty straightforward in terms of painting straight. Okay, that should be good. And I'm sorry for almost kicking the camera. Alright, other side now. Okay. Are we done? Are we truly done? Yep, it definitely looks like we are truly done. Jeez, mama, that went on for a while. Hope you guys stayed until the very end. Now, I am seriously waiting for more commissions because BotCon is only 4 months away. And I really want to save up a little bit more money before then. So, in closing, guys, this is Zeltrax Millennium saying good night, good luck, and I look forward to the commissions.